Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and in this video I want to talk to you guys about the Hydroponics Delta Master Lost Sector Guide. Now, currently I finally crept up over 1820, so gear is getting a little bit higher. I'm like 1807 average, not all that's up there, but we're getting there. Bonus gear score kicks me up over the top. So, we're in kind of Master territory now. It should be for two seasons. When you go to Master, you're going to be facing Barrier and Unstops. Now, the issue is with this entire thing is the final room. Because when you get into the final room, unless you are fast enough, you could go over time. And as the final room has no real true safe spots, you have to act quickly. And if you run out of time, of course, the death kicks you all to the start. I had that happen, and this thing bugs out anyways. I just had a hard to close the game. So, unstopped champions in there are an issue. You don't have any barriers in there. The barrier's really not an issue, just patience as usual. Void threat, void damage hurts, no question. Overload, we got Void Surge, Strain Surge, Overcharge Rockets, which I'm not even using. So I'm going to explain why I'm using. Now, this is a Master Lost Sector. Normally, I tell you guys, hey, I'm not going to use an exotic. I'm sorry, but on this one, I will tell you, I cannot find much of a better exotic weapon. Now, I will tell you, Arbalist, probably going to be a pretty good alternative to what I'm using. Wishender is in the Shattered Throne dungeon, takes the Forsaken pack to own it. I will tell you, this bow, because it's a bow, hits so hard. Because they're multiple piercing, anytime you guys see me shoot anything, it hits on entrance, hits on exit, sometimes hits multiple times, goes through enemies. This is like the bow of bows for high-level content, because if you have barriers, you have primary ammo, and it hits hard. So you have basically an infinite supply of high-level DPS if you've got the range. Now, Arbalist is special ammo. That's where it gets to be a little tough, but for barriers, it is effective. It did get a little bit of a nerf, a little bit of a buff, mostly the same probably when it comes to damage in general. Now, I know a lot of characters are going to have Arbalist as an option because it is the brand new exotic quest, so if you haven't run it yet, please go do that. But I'm running this in here because, one, I need something that just hits harder and quicker, and this is what it took for me in here. Now, your barrier options are either going to be solar radiant effects, so if you have a way to be radiant quickly, you could do that and run something, pretty much anything at that point. You could be radiant and fire retrofit escapade, and that would still work. Unraveling weapon rounds. If you can give yourself unraveled rounds, cool. If you can get yourself volatile rounds consistently, cool. Barrier has the least amount of options. Notice how Unstop has like 5 different things. Overload has 3 different things, and Barrier has 3 different things. Like Unstops, they give you just all of them. That's why Barrier is kind of tough. So I will show you how this works for me. It's up to you if you even want to try this thing. Honestly, if you're trying to farm lost sectors, this just may not be your day, but I still want to show you how to do it. Now, as we are in Season 20, I feel like I may as well use some of the seasonal artifacts. And I'm actually using a glaive, because Unstopped Champions having the option to shoot a special. The new Ecliptic Staff, this is this seasonal pursuit weapon. You got destabilizing rounds, not too bad. Close to melee, probably not going to get as much use because I'm not going to get as many kills, and there's a few small things I can make explode, so I kind of take that one. Blocking damage partially reloads reserves. Dealing range damage grants increased weapon energy when you're stationary with shields raised. That's kind of a toss-up. Finally, whatever heavy you want. I went machine gun. A void machine gun works for me just because it's going to get the benefit of the damage bonus. If you've got a different void machine gun, that's probably going to be an optimal thing. Now, you also, for Unstopped, could go with something like Leviathan's Breath. It has the concussive blast afterwards that knocks combatants back, and it hits pretty hard, so this could be a really good option in here, but it does limit my Wishender options, which would mean my barrier champions would be slower with something like Disparity. But as a heavy weapon, the blast radius, the instant stuns, taking out the unstoppable champions, it's going to hit. Later on, if I took this thing up to like 1810 power level, maxed out, higher level, that would be a fun one for me to try at some point when this comes back. Maybe I'll do it on a separate run, but I will show you guys Wishender and why it is so good. This alone, this is why the Forsaken pack should be free in my opinion, because everyone should have access to this bow. So, let's go inside. Sorry for the long intro, but you'll see why when we get to the final room, if I can even finish it. Because I've been short on time before, but the bow helps, and we'll see why. So, let's go. So again, remember, this bow is 1806 in here, and you'll see those massive numbers. Like, red borders do not have a chance. You get that full draw, things are just going to start dying. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about the Barrier Colossus in the back. I can shoot him a couple times and maybe stun him, but he's not really my goal. It's all the surrounding ads. Now, the cool thing about Wish Ender is you can actually see if there's anybody hiding above, going through walls. Wish Ender's actually pretty legit. I feel like it's finally in a good place that it's fun to use. Now, you also see some guys get on the upper deck, so be careful about that. Some off to the sides, but you can see where they're going to be. Now, sometimes I've sat here and watched this thing get loaded up with like 3 different grenades, so if you peek, do it every so often sporadically. That's basically what causes this thing to be slow. But if you get those crits to line up, it works pretty well. Now, the ones that are going to hurt, surprisingly, not surprised, that's one of the things. That's the concussive damper saving your butt. So it's the grenades. So many grenades. And here come the rockets from the big guy. You can shoot an enemy in the shoulder and it's probably going to do enough damage, just like that Scion. That's just a giant whiff. Sniper up top still. Basically need to find a good visible shot on just his head. Just need to see his head. Barely. Doesn't have to be much, but I need to see his head. There we go. Alright, that Barrier Colossus, once I hit him again, he's going to pop shield. Now you can do some good damage on him. I need those guys to be annoying. And it depends on how hard you want to go after the barrier champion, or if you want to kill the sniper. He will go for that shielding frequently. If you are going for the barrier colossus, you do need to focus on him, otherwise this is just going to be even slower. But if I've got the snipers done, I should be able to focus him down. About 2 more rounds and he should be done. There we go. Alright, I can get a little more aggressive now with the final 2 guys. Here is where the barrier weapon just does wonders, because all these guys line up into a wonderful little tunnel. You can shoot through the shields that they're all holding, which again makes this weapon in this one lost sector is like worth the investment alone. But also it shows how powerful this is as a barrier weapon. It pierces through, it hits pretty much everything. It will stop a lot of things in their tracks too. So it's not specifically going to stop like an unstoppable champion, but I love how he just like chukes. But you can hit most things in the head if it's like an orange bar, and if you crit him, you're going to be able to slow him down because you're going to do that enough of that stagger damage. It's really going to work. Now this is where our friend those rounds are going to start to be a little beneficial. So here. And again, if you can combine Volatile, you can do so much damage, and then by the time I can get him around the corner, I'll just finish him up when he runs in here. Because he's still mad at me. He's chasing. Hi! Bye. So. Wish Ender. Seriously for the win? I'm not kidding. Make sure you have your ammo finders on so you're getting some more ammo drops, because I didn't have that on last time. If you got a certain weapon type that you're using, like Void, make sure you get the Siphon on there. And these are the guys you can stop in their tracks. This is how powerful Wish Ender is. When they run at you, which they will, you hit them once, that stagger is massive. It's also why you have a melee resistance on. Those guys will suck. Alright, so there's usually one Scion up here. He's done. A couple of them will be running by up here. And again, I try and get the Scions just because they're typically annoying. Scorpius in the back. The main thing we're going to be looking for, again, flamethrowers are going to be a little annoying, but you're looking for the gladiators to eventually charge you. They'll get there. Yeah, gladiators, watch for the grenades. Oh, see, there's our unstopped guy. He's going to be hanging out. Now, the unstopped guys in and of themselves aren't too bad if you can stop them, but if they come at you, you're going to want to be set up for kind of a defensive standard. Now, really, really bad time to reload there. That's just my own dumb fault. See how long that thing sits there? Oh, guess what? I can stun him again. Now, this is why a Titan works for unstops pretty well, because you can lash these guys. I can take him, just kind of unload my machine gun. La la la. Finish him up in the hallway. Totally safe. Works out pretty well. Chunk my little strand guy out there. We're still cooking. So again, the damage that this bow does, yeah, it's your exotic, it's a primary. I totally get what you're giving up. But on the other side, the fact that I can hit these guys for like no red border takes more than one shot. Now, this is also why, like, when you use a non-red or a non-exotic primary, and this is why this thing hits, is because it's an exotic primary, amongst other things of the piercing. This just goes to show why normal primaries really need some love. Like, I'm recording this maybe before a patch comes out with it. Peek out, come on. There you go. Before an actual patch comes out, these are the guys that I was going to tell you. So right here is why I have their grenades. Slow them down, see if I can get them together. Now I want to kill them kind of close together, so I can get an orb for a change. Hey, you are going to have a few more miniguns, so look for them. They're going to be in the back, and they will melt you fast, so be careful about that. Look for our legionaries. The last thing we're looking for is our big barrier champ. He's going to be sitting around somewhere. Usually towards the back of the room, but you still got to find him. Okay. Now we're probably getting to the point. Okay. Apparently I peeked far enough in the room to pull the next wave of ads. There's always more than you think in this one. This thing has just got so many. Same with the boss room. But that's why this one, if you're good with a bow, works so well. Same principle here on these two. Blow him down, get the other guy to run up. Set up here. Had to call an audible there. Because I gotta reload my machine gun. I'm an idiot. Fine. So, as we go forward, barrier champions up. Make sure you got nothing else. Look for any more. Okay, I got a couple ads. We can play the sides. Again, I can make him volatile, which is fun. See, when he lands, he will pop that shield instantly. In fact, I shot the freaking post. Are you kidding me? But now, this is the point where if it's just you and him, find cover. Remember, see the guns in the right hand. So always make sure you're shooting, so you've got a pillar between him and you. So if I can put the gun behind a pillar, I'm going to be safe. But also got to make sure I can see him for the shots. If he jumps up, got to make sure I've got aim for his head. The timing of the draw sometimes really sucks, though. Now, if it's just me and him, I can totally kind of ruin his day here. Make sure you don't run up here until you know for sure it's just you and him. But he can't do anything. He just gets to sit here and take it. Cool. Alright, gotta make sure I get any ammo that's up. I know I saw a little bit. But yeah, without Wish Ender, I can tell you this takes what feels like forever. So, not a fan of this Lost Sector without Wish Ender. Wish Ender makes it manageable. I will tell you this is not like farmable in any aspect. Now you've got to jump down for anything to really happen here. So my advice is make sure everything's reloaded. Going to be dealing with some champions first. Make sure your super is ready, even if you have to sit here. Biggest thing is just be cautious, because when things start spawning in here, it goes fast. He's going to be up there at the top. Not going to take long for stuff to start spawning. There's your unstop champs. How did you not get stunned right there? Alright, this is the point where I'm going to go for super damage on these guys if I can. Since they're together, it works. Now they're going to get unstunned, so I'm going to try and stun him again. Go for the kills. On both. I'm going to try and finish one and then finish the other. I'm going to throw a grapple grenade here. Gonna go piercing arrow. Okay, I'm going to try and cover my tracks. And again, you got to move around this room. Try and find your cover. Don't get too far up. You will pull the boss on you. You just want something where you can delete enemies, and this weapon does it better than most. So don't even mess with the boss. Don't push up too far. Focus on deleting the enemies that you can find. Looks like I got some ammo rolling to me. Even a hip fire shot, just absolutely amazing. Okay. And again, this is one of those, like, I am very optimized to run this right now. Holy crap. Okay, see, still not a flawless run. I panicked. It's fine. Now, the only good thing is I should start up in the vent, which is nice, because I might be able to kill some guys from up above. That is the only benefit of dying once. If you're going for a flawless run, yeah, don't do what I just did. I know, like, I haven't done any damage to the boss. Like, the ads, there are a lot of them in here. I don't know why more of them started coming out at that point. Okay, sometimes you start really far back, but I'll take the ammo. Sure. Don't have to twist my arm. Get on the ammo front. Now, I have 3 minutes until res happens. You do have a respawn timer in here. Don't ask me why, but you do. So, I'm going to try and pick off everything I can from above. Yeah, normally you don't get any real safe vantage point. I'm going to take every opportunity I can right now. Pick them all off from here. Anybody else? Just me and the boss right now? Seems like that's the case. Okay. So. I literally land and you have more. This is ridiculous. Are we good for a hot second? Now, I have volatile rounds on, that's why I'm just kind of going to town a little bit here. Just trying to find a little cover for a second. It gets crazy in here. That's why I hate this room. Not a favorite for lost sectors. But this is why the loadout I found kind of works. It's not amazing, but it kind of works. I am gonna freaking die there. I don't even know what's mad at me right now. Now, there are more unstoppable champions. I don't think that's the only wave, but I'm not entirely sure if it was just him lighting me up for the boss. Yep, it was just him. Bad angle. Boss will put in some work on you. Now, I feel like there's one more wave, so I do want to make sure I'm as loaded up as I can be. And then I'm going to plink at him with my bow. So just play your angles with the boss. Take the shots that are safe. His void shot hurts a whole hell of a lot. Trying to do this slowly if I can. Towards his last bit of health, he'll move a bit more around the room, but for a while, he's going to hang in that region. So I would advise doing most of the damage you're going for while he's up there. And that's going to allow you to at least get most of the ads done. And then when the ads are down and you're just working him down, it's not as bad. He will move just a little bit more. That's just a thing you got to be aware of. The fact that he hurts too kind of sucks. Yeah, the one thing we're watching for now is our next phase of everything, and I'm pretty stocked up between grenade is an option. Now, if the dogs are coming out, there could be more. So again, just like most things, there's a lot of health triggers that happen based on, or there's a lot of triggers that happen based on health. So his health is going to determine what enemies are coming out. And when he gets to certain health triggers, I can shoot him in the toe and do 10,000 damage. Like, this is why this is ridiculous. That was a direct hit. He's pretty little jumpy too. Pretty mobile. But yeah, this is by no means like the fastest farmable Lost Sector guide ever. This is a guide to see if you can survive, so you can try and get this thing done. Okay, we got more ads coming. So now is our time for, see if I can get volatile rounds going. Again, this is this season. My orb. Reload and go volatile. Clear out as much of the stuff as I can. Dog's going down. I got ads coming. Ow. And gotta go super to save my own life. This is literally panic super. So if an unstopped champion is coming, I'm just in trouble. Nothing I can do. I feel like I'm not done. Just I'm getting some orbs out of some of these guys, which is good. Volatile's just a faster way to kill, which is the main reason I'm going after it. Don't want to stand on a grenade. Ah. Can that thing die? That'd be great. All right. You guys see why there's a little bit of chaos in here? I hope you do. Now that he's done shooting at the wall over there, because he thinks I'm in the corner, he'll eventually turn and look at me. Yeah, now he's going to go mobile. Do you just want to make sure everything else is dead? Which it basically should be at this point, just me and him. Just try not to get tagged too many times, but that's why Void Concussive is your way to survive this. Not really going to be getting any more orbs of power, so Volatile's not going to be doing much, but I mean, I'm sitting here for 6, 8. I can mostly just go to town, actually, at this point. Not going to do a ton of damage. It's more an annoyance to him. We're close. We are close. And again, this is not going to be like the be-all, end-all of ways to finish this thing. It's just a way that I have found to actually cross the finish line. Wasn't flawless. I was one death away in here, which happened to me both times I did this. But this is with Wishender, with Retrofit Escapade. I do recommend a Void Machine Gun like Commemoration is going to be a really good one from Deepstone Crypt. See if I get anything good. Nope. Just some course. I'm full on prisms, otherwise I'd be getting those, but I've been sitting at 50 prisms for a hot minute. So we'll get back to orbit and wrap this thing up, but that's just so you guys can see a way to get this thing done without the one death, maybe a little less panic super somewhere in there. There's just a lot that happens in the room, lots of ads to manage. Best way I've found to do it. You guys have a different method, please drop that one in the comments though. I'm very curious what builds you guys use to finish this one up. If you enjoyed this one though, drop a like. You can find me on Twitch or Twitter at Ebontis. But if you're new to the channel, which I know most of you are, please hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for the support as we climb to 100K. We are not that far, so have a great one, and I'll see you soon.